It's Anthony here today. I'm 95 Fox Alpha. Are you here? Fox Alpha, live and kicking. Good afternoon, John Anthony. Me. Hope all is well, MXB. So, what do you think? I thought I'd come in and make my presence this time. Just a little bit. I can't stay too long, as usual. But I'll join you for this session, at least some of it. Let's see whoever comes along also this afternoon, this evening, somewhere. It's 8 o'clock. The game of for Euro, Denmark and England has just finished. They finished in a draw, 1-1. So it's everybody's game, I believe, there. So they have to work further to make their chances to get through. Over to you, there's Anthony, 9H5 Fox Alpha, H1 Japan. H1 Japan, 9H5 Fox Alpha. Are you a bit football fan? So, I mean, I sometimes follow it, but I'm not walk around about every single game. You know, when there's a championship going on, I sort of follow what's happening, but sometimes 24 hours after it happens. Yeah, but it's obviously the English team is always a great favorite, and the Italian team is going on. So yeah, I'll have a look at the situation later on to see after tonight. See what the situation is. Today the set is going to be a bit different. It's not a directed net. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to proceed. I think Jerry is going to sort of suggest the way forward. Back to whoever wants to take the mic, I guess. I think 780W will be taking the mic now. This is 9 Hotel 5 Fox Alpha.
Yeah, okay, very good, Anthony. This was actually a nice way to start our conversation this evening. And this is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey for ID. We're still we're thinking about changing the format of the net. It has been a directed net. It has been to where all calls went through net control. They're really on average there are 6 to 9 check-ins on each net. So it's not a small net per se, but it's not a big net per se that it needs the direction of traffic. Will we ever double with each other? Well, have we ever before? Yes, we will, but that's okay. So, we're thinking about changing the format a bit to make it a meeting of friends, whoever wants to come up and say hello and all that, and maybe it becomes a bit more efficient or effective and hopefully a bit more interesting. Let me give a pause here. Everybody's welcome to the net, as they have been in the past and will in the future. This is, after all, what ham radio is all about. And we'd like to discuss, maybe have a topic, or, a topic pops up during the net as well. For example, soccer or football popped up today, and I religiously, I suppose I religiously follow the Premier League, and maybe the Serie A in Italy, and some others that are available here now. They used to not be available, but they are now. I'm going to try to be short-winded because I talk a lot, and everybody here can tell you that I do. So let me take some check-ins. I already acknowledged 9 Hotel 1 Bravo X-Ray, who I believe is in Rabat. Good evening to you. 9H1 Japan Lima and 9H5 Fox Alpha. I'll give a short pause and give me some more check-ins if there are any, and we'll continue our discussion from there. Nine Hotel 1 Foxtrot Bravo Sierra. Good evening to you. We have 9 Hotel 1 Bravo X-Ray, Japan Lima, and 9H5 Fox Alpha. You are number 4 on the list. Any other check-ins at this time who'd like to say hello and participate in our net? Okay, hearing nothing at this time. What we're thinking about doing is grabbing the net and making it a bit more informal, to resemble more of a chat on a repeater, so to speak. And I know a lot of people like me like to check in to make sure my friends are doing well, and to talk about something interesting. And obviously the weather is always a good topic. Soccer, sure. I mean football. and who knows what else. We were thinking about having maybe a topic, somebody present a topic every 2 weeks on our net. And it may be a topic on any ham radio aspect. It may be a topic on something else. For example, you, Joe, 9H1 Japan Lima, are very involved with the Scouts, and I was wondering earlier on as we started the net whether they have activities in summer and what kind of activities. I'm assuming camping is one of them, and I wonder if there are any ham radio related activities as well. So, Joe, let me pass it back to you. I know you may not have enough time, but then we'll go from there. 9H1 Japan Lima sounds like a directed net, doesn't it? And 7APW.
And 7APW, 9H1 Japan Lima. If you want to, I can fill all the session with at least 3 different topics for you. Unfortunately, I don't have too much time. Football, I used to play football myself, also quite active in it. But as time goes by, you have to fall back. You're not the same after you get a little bit too old. But I always loved that. Anyway, Scout stuff, they do enjoy themselves during the summertime. They have a lot of activities going on, barbecues and all that. Just saw a short presentation there. They were having hot dogs and all that. So it must have been someone's birthday party also, one of the leaders. So they do enjoy it. So that's, yeah, they do keep on with their activities. So just a short break. Hold on, because I'll get turned off for sure. But the last of the topics, likely I'm not actually much active on the radio, and the reason being that I'm still continuing with my book. So one of the pinnacles is that now the book is also in the possession of the President of Malta. This week I've presented the book to Her Excellency, which she liked quite a lot, and which she also made it in writing for me that it's something that is fortifying well, I want to change it into English. It fortifies our expression into our national heritage, and something that adds to all the other material already available on the market. And it was a very, very warm. She gave me a very, very warm welcome that I managed to include this book. So I'm feel very, very honored now that it has been taken up also by Her Excellency. So that's something that I'm actually proud of. I never imagined, never in my lifetime imagined that I get to this phase. I never imagined. All right, just a little bit of another info. I've also had another flight on 7 June, so loads of material there that are collected again. Different season, so different pictures come out, but there's a lot of work to go into that because I have to go through every picture that I've taken. So I'm into photography more than the radio guys right now, but that has been also my hobby since the 1980s. So that's about it. I don't want to drag it on too long. So back to net controller, or I don't know how you're going to go about it. N7APW9H1 Japan Lima.
Short pause for all the timers to reset. Any check-ins for the net this evening?
Kilo Kilo 4, Romeo Yankee Golf, KK4 RYG, Arenda, Anchorage, Alaska, USA.
All right, KK4RYG, good morning to you. Thank you for checking into the net. We're discussing the possibility and perhaps a small change in the format of the net coming up. And of course, that was Joe, 9H1 Japan Lima, talking about both European soccer and also a book that he's published that has now made it into probably the highest place on Malta, which is great, Joe. Absolutely, congratulations from all of us. It's interesting how books are basically a snapshot of a moment in time, and they're recorded forever. It's something that is just so valuable because whatever knowledge I have and whoever it may be, as soon as we pass on, it dies with us. So this is quite a documentation and quite an achievement as well. And a lot of people like to read different types of books. I'm not an avid book reader myself, never have been, but that doesn't mean that I don't appreciate and value the value of books. And we're going to try to do the net in a different format, not necessarily a directed net, but it may take some time. And we have with us today 9H1 Bravo X-Ray, 9H1 Japan Lima, 9H5 Fox Alpha, and 9H1 FBS together with KK4RYG. Let me go to the top again. Bill, I hope you're doing 9H1 Bravo X-Ray. I hope you're doing well and hopefully enjoying a nice cold beverage and some food at Rabat and enjoying the net as well. Oh, I guess he must be busy. Charlie, good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. And give me an idea of how the net is going so far. And it's not exactly very different from what we've had, but maybe more relaxed and maybe easier flowing. And your comments, like everybody else's, are always welcome. 9H1 FBS with the 9H HAM net. GlobalNet, I suppose, and 7APW.
Okay, 7APW, 9H1 FBS returning. Well, I don't feel too good today, but it seems to me that it's still the same. Everybody passes it back over to you, and then you will pass it to the next in line. So we'll see what happens in a future. quite warm here. Went up to about 35 degrees Celsius today, and we expect more. So, who do I send it to FA or not?
Charlie, you can do whatever you want. And yeah, right now it's evolving, obviously. And one thing I'd like to see is that if you have a question for me, for example, instead of giving it back to whoever is somewhat directing the net, you just go straight to the person, and the person answers you back. And we have to, like Joe always says, and I don't listen very well, but you have to give a pause for any incoming breaking traffic, and also the reset of the timers, because I can go crazy.
This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. Yeah, so as a short update, I have sent out both to the mailing list and also posted on the on three Facebook pages, mainly the two club Facebook pages, club Facebook pages we have in Malta, and the third general radio ham Facebook page we also have in Malta. And I posted out a request for anyone who would like to suggest, and not just suggest, actually discuss any topic, any hobby, any skill, anything of general interest, which he might or she might have and would like to share, and is suitable for discussion. I mean, I sort of ask people to email me. Well, we have an email address for HAM GlobalNet, and I put that email address in the notice to sort of say, okay, I'm interested in cars. Why don't we discuss electric cars and the advantages and disadvantages of electric cars, for example? Okay, and I actually have received one reply from a radio amateur we haven't who's very often with us, and she offered to actually offered me a list of about 3 different hobbies. He said, which one should I start? I haven't replied to him yet, but this was about 2 days ago. Yeah, but he might be listening, but he's not with us at the moment. But yeah, please do spread the word around. Share the Facebook link. I'll be posting more, and I'll be sending reminders. But we do need topics and people who would be happy to sort of lead in the sense that present a topic to kick off a net, not actually lead the net, but to kick off a conversation. Let's just pause a bit for the repeaters. Okay, this is me again, 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. So if anyone would like to discuss anything, we'll actually schedule the net. So we're thinking of in the calendar. We send the calendar invites earlier, not 1 or 2 days before as I'm doing now. So we send it earlier, and within the calendar invite there'll be sort of a sentence saying, we're going to discuss global warming. I'm just giving an example, okay? Or it could be car models, or some electronic aspect, or some particular type of computer software, or whatever. And it will be sort of planned. So when people who join, they know, today is going to be an interesting one on this or on that. So that's the idea basically. But we do need volunteers to come forward. I mean, obviously we can come up with our own, and I can volunteer as well. But we do need volunteers. So please do spread the word around. 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. opening these back to the floor. It's not back to when it's controller now. It's back to the floor. 9.5 is HAM GlobalNet.
And if the floor is quiet, I'll chime in. Very good. Yes, that's correct. Joe was talking about photography. Honestly, today just about everybody is a photographer because we all have phones. But there are certain types of photographs that are composed and lighting and everything else that while phones do a really good job today, more than some of my cameras that I still have that are older do, but composing a picture is an art on its own, whether it's color or black and white. I used to prefer black and white because black and white is simply black, white, and shades of gray. And it's totally different than taking a color photograph. You have to ensure that what you're trying to emphasize in that picture is emphasized in black and white. And most people are not used to seeing in black and white, and so that's an art on its own. And I used to love it. I also used to love using the darkroom. Hours and hours. You just go in there and get lost. It's very nice indeed. Okay, very good. So yeah, that is good. And also, I want to add something. We now, although I'm not on the island of Malta any longer, haven't been for a very long time, truly. We now have the facility, or I do anyway, to record somebody's contribution to the net, and then play it on the net if they can't be there, if they don't have the time. Nancy, my goodness, Anthony noticed that while there may be 6 to 8 to 9 people who check in to the net, there are on average 50 people who listen to the recording of the net on YouTube. And that's very pleasing to everybody, because it doesn't really matter whether you can attend a live session or not. If you're listening to the net, we thank you very much. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. Okay, so we kind of have an idea of where the net is headed. It will take some time to format. It will take some time to get into the groove of a new format for the net, and it may work or it may not work. But there's no reason not to try. I've always believed that, and I still do. I wonder if you have any comments for us from experiences from your nets. KK4RYG and 7APW.
Hi, this is KK4RYG. We do have similar sub-directed nets. There are different types of nets. For example, on IRLP, you have something called the trivia net that happens in the wee hours of the morning here in the United States. I wish I could give you the time right off the bat, but basically, to make a long story short, they have different formats that they use in the form of trivia. So directed nets can have all different types of functions. But the trivia net is one of the oldest running nets in the history of ham radio. You might be able to find it if you look up the Dean family. That's Delta, Echo, Alpha, November. The Dean family. And if you find the Dean family, there's a trivia net that's associated with them. And they have a net in the early hours of the morning in the United States. like 2 a.m. Eastern Time, which I believe is, let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 a.m. Zulu. 6 a.m. Zulu every night. It's pretty good. Break. And so if you have an opportunity, you can look at their format as a difference of directed net. One of the topics that I would like to hear in the future is on global warming. I have a lot of resources, information-wise, that could be useful to our listeners. Back to you. This is Kilo 4, Romeo Yankee Golf Forenza in Anchorage, Alaska, USA. Time here is 10:25 a.m.
Well, very good. I've made a note of that, and I'm sure Anthony has as well. And I'd like to thank Charlie, 9H1FDS, for hosting the net quite a few times. Anthony as well, although I didn't see your name on the flyer, Anthony, as a net controller, but I know you have been, and I know you are. Plus, also, Anthony does a lot of behind-the-scenes work, keeping up the YouTube channel, updating the YouTube channel. Oh my goodness, and a bunch of other things too, and stuff that I don't do. I basically host. Well, I suppose that's fun too. I enjoy that a lot. But I'd like to thank everybody who volunteers to make this net possible. And as Charlie would say, without the participation of ham radio operators, this would not be possible. You know, and another thing we have to bear in mind is that, unfortunately, the hobby of ham radio is not as active as it used to be. And so participation is not going to be as some of us remember it 20, 30, 40 years ago. And I'm sure we can talk about that sometime too. Reminiscing? Sure, why not? I don't see any problem with that. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey 4ID. I'm going to give a pause, and I have some more people to recognize. Another couple of people that without them this net would not be possible would be the trustees of the machines. The 9H1 UHF repeater, which is a UHF analog repeater, which serves most of Malta. It has very good coverage, and I'd like to thank Mark, 9H1 Golf Papa, for maintaining that, and I'm sure he has some help. And thanks to all of you for allowing us to use the repeater to hold our net. And also on DMR, we have 9H1 DMR, the repeater. And also, in case somebody wants to check in through DMR, it's Brandmeister Talk Group 2780. And thank you to Antoine. I hope I don't botch your call sign. I should know it. 9H1US. I always get 1 and 5 confused. But Antoine, thank you very much for also allowing us to link the 9H1 DMR repeater via Echo Link to the 9H1 UHF repeater. Thank you, folks, very much. I can definitely do a session about repeaters. It may be a bit outdated, but you know, a repeater is a repeater, and its primary function hasn't changed, whether it's analog or digital. And I'm sure, like you said, Anthony, that there are others who have other topics, ham radio related or not, that we can discuss over time on this net. And I'll pass it back to the floor and 7APW. I think that's a great phrase. We all pass it to the floor.
Mayan Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. Thank you, Jerry. I'd like to ask KK4RYG. You mentioned global warming as a topic, if I heard you correctly. which is actually a very interesting topic. Would you be interested at some point in time to sort of present and kick off a topic on global warming for one of our nets? Well, I'm just asking, if you would like to do that, it would be great. Back to the floor, but it is a question directed to KK4 RYC. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
This is KK4RYG replying to Foxtrot Alpha. Yeah, I would love to, work on a project like that. Please send me a request at my email address, which is kilo4 Romeo Yankee Golf @gmail.com, and I'll reply with some type of summary of what it is that I can do on the topic. Again, this is kilo4 Romeo Yankee Golf. Confirming your request for me to do a presentation on global warming. Back to you. Thank you, Net Control.
KK4RYT, this is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. Yeah, thanks a lot. I'll do that. I'll email you. I have your email address, and it's also on WhatsApp.com. Yeah. Okay, I'll email you and we can discuss. I mean, we're very happy with global warming is a very, very, very important and relevant topic. So, and there are so many facets to it. There are so many things that can contribute to global warming, and it's a problem with the long term with these words. Yeah, thanks, Terence. I'll contact you by email. By the end of this week, I will have sent you an email. Back to the floor. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. By the way, before I let me change topic a bit. Jerry was mentioning, and 7APW was mentioning photography and monochrome photography. I'm not sure if he remembers the orange filters used to attach to cameras in the past to enhance contrast for monochrome prints. In my days, I used to enjoy developing E6. The process was called E6, but 35mm slides, color slides, and there was a chemical developing process which was called E6, I remember, and I used to develop 35mm extra chrome slides in a room on the roof, custom-made dark room. Yeah, it was really fun. Back to the floor. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
I can take you further back than that. And 9H5FA with the group and 7APW. I wanted to add something too, and I hope you're still listening, Joe. But if you have a topic that you want to record and then play on the net, I'd be more than happy to arrange a time and date for that to happen. I know you're a busy man, and that sometimes it's a challenge for you to come up on the net, but that doesn't mean we can't record it beforehand and then play it on the net. We've done some of that before when we had our 50th net celebration. We got recordings of people's contacts and played them on the net. They were also played on a local community radio station from Birkirkara on Malta, and it was quite a success. So, I'll pass it back to the floor. If you're listening, Joe, and have some comments, I'd appreciate them. But we're here to accommodate because it just makes the net more colorful. And even if people are listening, they may enjoy it more, and that's the whole purpose. This is N7APW. Joe has stepped away for now, but that's okay. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey with participating in the 9H HAM GlobalNet. Very good. Are there any other check-ins at this point in time? Okay, we're 35 minutes into the net. I think it's going well. Anybody have any comments on that? I'd like to hear them, and so would Anthony and everybody else. And feel free to jump in with any topic. It makes for a more colorful, interesting net. I had something else to say, but it fell on a memory chip that had a hole in it. This is N7APW, back to the floor. We can talking about global warming. My goodness, most of the U.S. is under a heat dome. Most of Southern Europe is under a heat dome. We've experienced a heat dome here in Wyoming. Was it 2 years ago? 2 summers ago. We had temperatures above 100 degrees Fahrenheit, or approximately, 37, 38 Celsius, continuously for over 35 days, and it was a bit rough, especially for up here. I'm sure it would be interesting to hear what KK4RYG point of view is, because obviously you live in Alaska, which is normally a bit cooler. I also know that the Northern Passage is open at times, and I think there is traffic going through that Northern Passage where before, up to about a few years ago, there was no such thing as traffic going from the east to the west or vice versa, which I thought was very interesting, and other places are affected in other ways. I know, for example, that the first named hurricane of the season hit the Texas coast yesterday or the day before. It's pretty early for hurricanes to hit the Gulf Coast. Normally, although the hurricane season opens in June, the beginning of June, normally the first hurricane shows up around the beginning of August, and we're not even in July yet. So it's very interesting. Flooding wherever you look, fires now in California and other places, and I believe in parts of Europe as well, and it's amazing. Amazing, sad to a point, but it's what it is, and here we are, and that's what we have to live with. N7APW, back to the floor.
This is Kilo 4, Romeo Yankee Golf Renza in Anchorage, Alaska. In my presentation on global warming, I hope that I will have an opportunity to share information that's relative to what has happened in the global warming scenario. Some of the things that you said, including the passages, are now easier is because of the effects of global warming. We've had a number of issues that happened geographically up here in the Brooks Range that involved the permafrost and acidic levels of water. It's very tragic. And I plan to review that during my presentation on global warming as soon as Foxtrot Alpha reaches out to me, because I have to outline how it's going to work and then follow within the guidelines of net control. So with that said, I look forward to being a part of that presentation. Thank you. Back to you, Kilo Kilo 4, Romeo Yankee Golf. Thank you, Net Control.
Well, thank you for your contribution. It's always interesting. Obviously, it's information from a part of the world that it's not all from Texas or or wherever, or Brussels or something like that. So it's very interesting, and it's a different point of view as well. Very good. November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. Any other comments? And back to the floor.
This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. A few minutes ago, KK4RYG mentioned the Dean family with respect to a net, and I've got in front of a computer at the moment, and I've been Googling them. And we're referring to the same sort of website, the Dean family info, and I think it is because we think about the same site, because the website has got a tab specifically for amateur radio. And one of the family members, Brett Dean, well, according to his Wikipedia page, it says, there's one sentence which says that Brett worked primarily out of an office in his home that he transformed into a sound booth and filled it with police scanners, telephones, radio equipment, and later on, computers. He must have been a very interesting guy. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2007. This is just some news from the. Alan, so how is the summits connected to the net? I mean, do they hold any nets or something? I mean, the web page has got a last update date of 2020. Back to the floor, but if you know any info about this, because this is a net which I might like to try and pop into someday if it's still being held. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
Net Control, I have the name of the trivia net. With your permission, I'd like to give information to all the listeners. Back to you.
Okay, very good, Lorenzo. In the future, just give the information out. It's not a directed net anymore. We've stopped doing that effective today. And so if somebody asks somebody a question, the other person just pick it up and keep it moving. This way the net moves and flows a bit better, I think, and we hope, and also is a bit more pleasant to listen to. So I'll give the floor over to you and answer the question. And if there are any other questions, just we do it like we do it when we're on a repeater or another chit chat.
Okay, you got it. This is Kilo Kilo 4, Romeo Yankee Golf. The net is called the Insomniac Trivia Net. You can Google that, Insomniac Trivia Net, and it happens, and I want to say it happens at 10 p.m. my time. But if you get a chance, you'll see the times and the locations. But if you look it up, it's called the Insomniac Trivia Net. The reason why I mentioned the Dean family is because that's how I found out about it. I accidentally bumped into his page, and I found out that he was connected to this trivia net. But yeah, if you can look at the Insomniac Trivia Net, and all the answers to the questions about formalities can be answered right there. The good thing about the varieties of directed nets is that they can happen in different formats. And the trivia net has basically been around for a long time, and the format that they're using is pretty legendary. Back to you. This is Kilo Kilo 4 Romeo Yankee Golf, and I think I was talking to 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. Back to you.
For Romeo Yankee Golf, 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. Yeah, I'm on their website now, insomniac2.net. Yeah, there's quite some information here. They also stream online, apparently. They all just stream online using a service called Broadcastify. And they meet at 10 p.m. Pacific time on the Wind System IRLP Reflector 9100 on the All-Star Hub 2560 and Echolink Kilo Alpha 6 okay, sorry, my browser, my computer browser froze for a moment. Echolink KA6WIN. And they have a number of linked repeaters as well to that, covering 16 states and 4 other countries. And the net is now in its 44th year. This is impressive, as of 2024. Non-stop for 365 days a year. This is impressive. I have to tap into this. Thanks for bringing this up. KK4, sorry, why am I so bad at the numbering code line? KK4RYT. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
Nine Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. This is KK4RYG. Absolutely. So now you know who these people are, and I've been with them off and on for about, I want to say, 15 years, and it's been a pretty good net. No complaints. They're pretty good. They're also very comical at times too, but you'll discover that when you listen to some of the questions that they ask. Try to make it on tonight. It's going to be a pretty interesting net. Back to you. This is Kilo Kilo 4 Romeo Yankee Golf.
Kilo Kilo 4 Romeo Yankee Golf. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. Thanks, Arenza. I might not do it tonight, but I'll sure do it during the weekend. I'm just trying to find out what local time would be. 10 p.m. Pacific time. Well, let me send this back to the floor. Yeah, okay. So 10 p.m. Pacific time is 7 p.m. local time in Malta, which is perfect time. Thanks, Lorenzo. Let me pass on back to anyone who would like to make any comments. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha with the 9 HAM GlobalNet.
p.m. Pacific time is 7 a.m. the next day, Central European time.
You're right. Sorry about that. Yeah, 7 a.m. I missed it. 7 a.m. the next day. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Thanks for that.
No, I've lived on Malta for 23 years, and I've been talking to Malta all my life. So this is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey with the 9H HAM GlobalNet. I'm going to give a short pause for all the timers to recycle and see if there are any other people who would like to check in. Okay, very good, guys. Yeah, that's very interesting. It'll only be 11 o'clock at night in Wyoming or in the Mountain Time Zone where I am, and that would be easy for me to listen to. I'll have to check it out. Also, I'm sure there are some Echolink links to the net, which makes it very easy for me to listen to, and we may make a little post on our YouTube page referring to this net as well. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. We're trying a slightly new format of the net. It's not terribly far from where we were, but I personally like it better. And I like the fact that when people have a question or a comment, they just go straight to the person who instigated that comment, for a better choice of a word. And the phrase that I just learned today, which I really like, is back to the floor. I love that. And that way it tells everybody that it's time for anybody to say anything about anything about anything, and it doesn't have to be related to the topic that we were just discussing. And variety is the spice of life. I can vouch for that from the 70 years that I've lived so far. Variety is the key, and so is a smile. November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. Any other check-ins, anything else? And any comments on our format so far? I like it, and I thank everybody for their contribution, as I always do. Back to the floor, and 7APW. Okay, we have nothing from the floor. And Anthony, what do you think? I'm liking it.
In APW, this is 985SA. Actually, I think we've had some very good interaction today. And we had, notice this, we haven't even mentioned the weather once. Which is a huge plus. It means it sounds things much more interesting than the weather to talk about. Yeah. Charlie has been a bit silent. This is still there. 9 Hotel 1 Foxtrot Bravo Sierra. What do you think, Charlie? This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
I think his eyelids got too heavy. Too heavy. Bring him out. Nothing will.
Jerry, I didn't get your last over. Someone else was talking to me over here locally at home. Sorry, could you repeat that? I mean, I know you said something and wait for a reaction, but I didn't get what you said. Could you come and go again, please? This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
And 7APW returning. Well, I said Charlie's eyelids were getting very heavy, and then my second transmission, and I talked fast. I said, if that didn't get him out, nothing will. I.e., he's somewhere else. And yes, we can be very lighthearted here, and I kind of like that too as well. Somebody who may be listening, who may not be having the best of days, once in a while listening to a smile or somebody's smile just helps their day along. And I've learned that a very long time ago from radio, from commercial radio or broadcast radio. There used to be a When I was growing up, there used to be a DJ on a station from Hilversum, Holland, and he always referred to it as a smile across the miles, and it is very, very, very true. And I try to do that as well. And we have a choice, right? We can't smile all the time. Well, we can put on a smile all the time. I do, and if you stop and think about it, if you're tuning all the radio stations on the radio or wherever, trying to find a station that you want to listen to, and you hear somebody who's a DJ, especially, or an announcer, who's having a bad day, you're not going to listen to them because you want somebody to cheer you up, and that's not going to do it. So sometimes, and they teach you in broadcasting school, to put a smile on your face, because if you put a smile on your face, literally put a smile on your face before, this is what my teacher used to say, if you put a smile on your face before you open your mouth while you may not be having a good day, that smile will carry across the miles. And that's very, very true. This is N7APW, and we talk about anything on the net, and we'd like to have your participation. It's nice to know that there are quite a few people who listen to the recording of the net on YouTube every 2 weeks, and that's very encouraging as well, because it's a fact of life, especially now. Not everybody can be here when the net is on live, just like not everybody can go and listen to their favorite radio program when it's being broadcast on the radio station. And that's what on demand is for. And we're all used to on demand. I mean, look at most of the commercial movie services and news services and everything. Not only are they live, but they're also on demand. And even radio stations, you can go to their library. Oopsie. I'm glad I have a timer. I hope I didn't time out the machines. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey with the 9H HAM GlobalNet. So guys, does anybody have anything else to contribute to the net? Any topics, any suggestions, any words of wisdom? We'd like to hear them. N7APW with the 9H HAM GlobalNet.
There used to be a website called Words of Wisdom, and it has a number of lyrics. I'm not sure if it's there anymore. Some statistics for this as well, for this words of wisdom. For the time. It's been an hour, huh? An hour has passed. Back to the floor.
No, I think it's been a lot of fun. I honestly have, and I'm enjoying myself, and definitely do it again. Anything else for the net? The floor is open. November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey with the 9H HAM GlobalNet. I don't think we need to change the name of the net either. Well, hearing nothing, I think we can conclude the net. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, Chief Bottle Washer for the 9H HAM GlobalNet, together with 9H5 Fox Alpha and 9H1 Fox Bravo Sugar, who both contribute voluntarily to the net and keep the net going as well. And we'd like to keep the net going for a long time to come. I think we mentioned the net has been going on for, my goodness, more years than some of us are old, I suppose. Not me. But I'd like to thank everybody for checking in. We're going to meet again in 2 weeks, same time, same place, for another edition of the 9H HAM GlobalNet. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to people to participate and to contribute. Everybody has something interesting to share with everybody else, whether you may think so or not. You know, I can talk to 10 other people who are avid photographers, and the conversation always goes to a place of something where I say, I'd like to look into that, or I didn't know that, or wow, you've done this. So it's just all great. And that's what the hobby is all about, communications and exchange of information. I'll give a short pause to see if there's anything else for the net. I'd like to invite everybody to check in 2 weeks' time, same place. And I'd like to thank the trustees of the machines for taking care that our net is broadcast on their repeaters, and also places like Echolink and recording on YouTube as well. And thank you, Anthony, very much for all that you do. All that you do. You do a lot, so thank you. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, giving a short pause and then declaring the net closed. Hearing nothing, without further ado, as my friend would say, the 9H HAM GlobalNet is officially closed, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you very much.